Welcome back to the channel. This is another Bob and Nobby on tour version, but what we're going to cover in this one is we're in Norway. This is just the top half of Oslo. That's a massive, like the biggest ski jump thing. It's a ski jump thing. We'll go up there in a minute and we'll show you some of the clips of that. But Norway at the moment seem to have got it right. How they introduced it, how they got this far, and we've been absorbing, I'd say, a lot of information from both Kia and from people we meet here, and we're talking about EVs. We're talking to some of the EV owners here a minute ago as well. Just want to show you what can be done in a country that is very similar to Ireland, isn't it?
It's cloudy.
It's great. Yeah.
It's expensive, and they
very expensive.
They pay a lot of money for cars. But interestingly, in 2022, 20% of new car sales in Norway have been fully electric. How do they get there though? And actually they're now at a stage where they're tapering off some of their grants, their incentives for getting into cars. The company car allowance was 50% of the value, and now it's up to 80%.
Yeah.
But they're still positive about it. They're still like, well, we're still saving 20%. They have fuel stations where you go to a Circle K, and they've banished the petrol and diesel pumps to the back of the garage, and where we have a forecourt, they have 12 300 kilowatt chargers. And you just sit up there and go inside to the play area for kids, or a lounge area we can have something to eat. And I mean, that is another question. Well, I could just pump into my car and I'm gone again 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Wait
It's a
around
whole
for
different
40.
spend. You kind of have to spend more at an electric charge though.
Yeah, but you know, you can charge something like an EV6 here in a public charger for about 10 quid. That's cheaper than at home.
It is cheaper than home, yeah. There's so many things here that are actually cheaper than Ireland. We see Norway as a really expensive country, but it's not complete. Not everything is very expensive here. The hotel room last night, for instance, was cheaper in Oslo city centre, a capital city, than it would have been in Dublin city centre, a capital city. Now, Oslo's a bit of a smaller city than Dublin, I have to say. It looks tiny. I mean, you could see to the edge of Oslo from my hotel room last night, which is kind of weird. But they seem to have gotten the charging system right. I mean, I'm acutely aware here behind us there is 5 EVs charging right now, and we are at just a tourist spot. This is just a tourist thing people come to. Yep. There is no green spaces on the ground. There's no special zones. There's no nothing. They just put in chargers. I'd say there's, what, 10 chargers there in total?
Yeah,
2 on each side?
Charging on either side. There's someone just pulling up now with their Soul, and they finished charging. E-Mini is just pulled up, reversed into the spot. There's one free. Knock yourself out. The thing that is not even an elephant in the room, Norwegians will tell you, yes, the infrastructure, the investment, the incentives, a lot of it came from the selling of Norway to other countries of their oil.
Yep.
And they
fossil fuels
took that money and turned it into zero emission infrastructure.
9.1 billion is what they used to get it to this far. So they've made no money from EVs. They make money from petrol and diesel cars. At a petrol station, there's duties and things on the fuel, but they've made no money from EVs. So now they're trying to find ways of making more money back out of it. So they need to replenish 9.1. I think it's 22 something billion krona, but it's 9 point something billion has been spent essentially on EV infrastructure and getting grants and stuff into EVs. Oh, there's no grants on home chargers.
No, there isn't. But you still get reduced money on tolls, reduced parking if you have an electric car.
Bus lanes are fun.
Bus lanes. If you have an EV in Norway, and this is only a new thing where they've changed, is there has to be 2 people in the car. But again, that kind of makes sense. You're trying to bring less cars into a city centre anyway. And you can drive in the bus lanes. Now, they also have brought in things in Oslo, for example, between 3 and 5 p.m. You can't bring an internal combustion car into the city.
The main city part, yeah. There really is. There seems to be a massive push from both the public and the government here, and the local councils here, to really embrace this idea of zero emissions, of clean air. Last night we went out for a pint, walking around the city there, and you're standing at traffic lights and there's 20 cars around you and there's not a sound, like total silence. The odd bus will pass by, the still diesel and things, but just the weird quietness of a city centre was very strange last night.
All new public transport has to be EV as well, if it's government ran. Obviously you can have private companies with coaches and stuff. There's plenty of diesel coaches driving around here today. But it's just been very interesting to see how a country quite progressive in this area operates. I think people who get to make Decisions in Ireland, your friend Eamon Ryan, people like that should actually come here if they haven't already and just see how they do it and see how it can be done. Yes, again, that money to launch their plan that I suppose kicked off in some ways in 2010, but
Yeah.
it was still early adopter stuff because the cars that were available then were the Nissan Leaf and the Nissan Leaf.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah. There were
Now
a couple
here,
of Chinese ones.
it's Porsche Taycans, you see them everywhere. There's Teslas,
e-tron GTs.
absolutely loads of
Teslas, yeah.
Audi e-trons.
But I think if anyone's coming here, what we've experienced today was we drove down to the south of Oslo, which takes you towards the kind of tourist areas, which are not tourist areas this time of year, and you just start to see it. You start to see it everywhere. You start to see charge points everywhere. The car park we pulled in, we didn't need a charge around. The car park we pulled in for lunch had 4 chargers just sitting in the car, just tidily over to one car, sitting there waiting for charge. We passed every house. 70% of homeowners here have the home charger already installed, even if they don't have an EV. They've already put in a home charger. So it's the huge embracing of the technology that people seem to have caught here. And if you were coming over here, like if Eamon Ryan wanted to come over here and see the place, I have a feeling he'd end up in a PowerPoint situation of just listening to a whole heap of facts and figures and things, where actually what you need to do is go for a drive. You need to drive around the country and just see it. It's everywhere. It's so easy here.
If you have an EV in Ireland, even if you have a charger at home, which we both do, but there will be times when cross-country or sustained motorway driving, you will need more power in the car. And you cannot deny that a lot of the time driving an EV in Ireland, relying on the public infrastructure, it's an inconvenience. What Norway have done is they've taken that inconvenience away. The whole idea of us getting into motor cars from horses was that the car gave more freedom.
Yeah.
Again, Ireland's infrastructure, not an EV, but Ireland's infrastructure has kind of taken away that flexibility a little bit. And it does give people the option to say, oh, but what if I need to bring one of the kids to hospital at 3 in the morning and I've got 10 kilometres in my car. They sometimes do sound like cop-outs. I don't know if you really would drive home with 10 kilometres before an emergency happens anyway, but as long as there's reasons to kind of knock it and go, oh, I don't know, not quite ready, then people will continue to do that. But if we make the public infrastructure in particular just so foolproof and so
easy
in abundance, then and easy.
I want tap and go charging. I don't know why I have to continually sign up to various apps and things and download yokes and give credit and put money on things. I have 20 quid on EV Go and I have 20 quid at ESB and I might never use it.
Yeah, and they don't talk to each other. And
you can't use the credit from one on the other. It's very annoying, and it's starting to become very difficult as well, because like everybody's price of electricity has gone up. It's 44 cents per kilowatt now at the normal chargers. It's now getting expensive to use. Instead of just being able to put up and have a price list on the front, you walk up, you plug in, and you tap your phone with Apple Pay and you pay your stuff and walk away. There's nothing. That's what that would be the dream. That's what a lot of them have here already.
There's also something revving.
That's what I was going to say. It's just to annoy us. There's 2 petrol engines.
They probably have micro penises.
It's a Mini Cooper. I'm sure it's very nice.
A Mini Cooper and an MX-5. So yeah. Maybe.
I bet you our 0-6 time be better than that.
And the other thing, of course, is just the cost of electric vehicles. Like taking a Kia as an example, if you're think of it from a salesperson point of view, if you're used to trying to sell a 30 grand Kia, 35 grand Kia, you're now telling your customers, who might have seen the EV6, and they go, yeah, it's 50 grand. So
it's a big step.
Yeah.
It's a big step. But honestly, Norway opened my eyes to a different level of what it's like to have it as a normal thing. It's a normal thing here. It's not an extraordinary thing. It's not a big green parking space thing. Not a special designated area. It's the normal here. So you just treat it as normal. It's still expensive here, but it's just normal here.
Let's normalise it. Let's get more public chargers. Let's make people feel it's something that they can actually adopt to. And look, that's one part of the hurdle. There will be the prices. There will be the supply issues as well. All are factors that Norway have had to deal with as well. But
get the lads do a burnout, would we?
I'd have the MX-5.
I'd have the MX-5 as well.
Yeah. I'd have to fight over that one. An electric MX-5, that'd be a quick car.
I'd say there's probably one of them here in Norway.
Yeah. So look, it's just a very brief look at, if you don't get a chance to come to places like this, and I don't know if Oslo would be a #1 destination for a weekend away just because of the cost of it. So it was interesting just to see how they do it in Norway, how it can be done with a similar-ish landscape to Ireland.
The other thing we didn't mention was the efficiency of that train yesterday. We landed in Oslo airport walk downstairs, walked onto a train. The train whisked us electric, of course, into the city centre of Oslo. We walked 100 metres to the hotel, and we're there. Like, it was amazingly efficient.
It's all joined up here.
It is all, the thinking is all in one, and one ticket got us all that way as well.
Yeah. There's a topless man over there with headphones on. That's a little bit unnerving me.
There's something.
But you might get that in Ireland as well. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you want to see the reviews of the new Kia Niro and the Niro plug-in hybrid from Bob and myself, they're on our own separate channels, so go check them out. And look, if you've been running an electric car in Ireland for the last 10 years, maybe you're on your third one, let us know your experiences of it in the comments, because that will help other people maybe go, okay, maybe it could be for me.
And if you're thinking of changing to an EV at any point, let me know your thoughts. What are you thinking of changing to? Can you get it? Is he doing yoga or something there? What, can you get an EV? Is the problem with price, or what's going on? What is the difference?
Right,
what is he
Just
doing?
hang on 1 second.
He's throwing a frisbee at a thing.
But there's no one to catch the frisbee. Does he realise that?
What have we got into?
How does that come back?
Man, we do film in some weird places
I
with
don't
some
want to
weird
get
people.
caught film. Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us on this video. It was very nice to have you along. Please let us know in the comments if you are interested in us talking about more EV infrastructure or more things.
Do I have to ask his permission to use him in this video?
No, you can't make him out.
I'm never going to see him again.
Anyone who stands on the side of a mountain topless throwing frisbees
They're
at a
asking for
basket
it.
is asking to be on the internet, aren't they, though? Welcome to the internet, my friend. I will be your guide.
Anyway, Norway, you've been lovely. And Ireland, if you are in a position to create some change, please inform yourself. Look at how they do it here. Thanks for watching.
I'm still filming him out the hill. Thank you very much for watching, though. See you next one.